Karlie Kloss, the world-famous supermodel turned entrepreneur and beloved public figure, has just welcomed her third child with husband Joshua Kushner. And while celebrity baby announcements are always exciting, this one has truly captured hearts everywhere, because not only does it mark another milestone in their marriage, but it also brings a beautiful balance to their growing family as they introduce a baby girl, Florence, born on September 18, 2025, joining her big brothers Levi, who is now 4 years old, and Elijah, who just turned 2, completing a trio that fans say makes the Kloss-Kushner family look like a picture-perfect portrait of love, balance, and happiness. And the way they chose to share this moment was both elegant and understated, as Joshua was the first to break the news with a sweet Instagram post featuring Ray wrapped in a striped hospital blanket and topped with a little pink hat. Captioned simply Florence September 18, 2025 Whiteheart, while Karlie followed up shortly afterward with black and white photos that were just as intimate, showing their daughter's tiny hand clasping hers with the caption Welcome to the world Florence September 18, 25. And although the pictures were minimal and private, they still managed to spark huge conversation online because fans immediately noticed how Karlie continues to strike the perfect balance between sharing milestones and protecting her children's privacy, a pattern she's maintained since giving birth to Levi in 2021, when she waited days before sharing his name, and later with Elijah in 2023, when she revealed small glimpses without exposing too much. A decision that resonates with many parents who face the same dilemma in the social media age. And if you've followed Karlie's journey, you'll know she first announced this pregnancy back in March of 2025 with an adorable Instagram post showing her growing baby bump and her 2 sons hugging her belly, captioned "Three's a party," which instantly lit up her feed with millions of likes and comments from fellow models, celebrities, and fans alike, sparking months of anticipation over whether the third child would be a boy or girl. And with this week's announcement, we finally got the answer. A little girl who will no doubt grow up surrounded by love, creativity, and influence, because Karlie is not only known for her modeling legacy, walking in shows for Dior, Versace, and countless others, and gracing the covers of Vogue, Elle, and Harper's Bazaar, but also for her work as the founder of Code with Klossy, a non-profit that empowers young women to learn coding and computer science, which shows the kind of inspiring role model Florence is being born into. And let's not forget Joshua Kushner, an investor and entrepreneur with a reputation for being supportive and low profile, who has always seemed to ground Karlie even in her busiest career moments. And fans often note how genuine their relationship feels. A refreshing change from some high-profile celebrity romances that often seem more like staged PR than true partnership. And as we celebrate Ray's arrival, it's impossible not to reflect on Karlie's openness during this pregnancy. Because in several interviews and candid posts, she talked about the changes in her body, the challenges of balancing work, motherhood, and health, and how her husband has been a source of strength, telling fans that he helps her stay herself even while taking on the ever-demanding role of mom, which so many of her followers, especially young mothers, deeply relate to, and that relatability is part of why this news has exploded online. Yes, Karlie is a global icon, but she is also a woman sharing raw, authentic, universal experiences of motherhood, which makes people feel like they're celebrating right alongside her. And now, with a girl in the mix, many fans are already imagining Ray joining her mom at future fashion events, walking red carpets in adorable mother-daughter looks, or maybe even learning coding at a young age through Code with Klossy. And while it's fun to speculate, Karlie herself has kept things rooted in privacy and simplicity, focusing on family rather than spectacle, which is another reason her announcement feels so refreshing, because instead of grand over-the-top reveals, we get heartfelt, minimalist posts that tell a bigger story than any glitzy magazine spread could. And speaking of storytelling, this third child feels like the way they share family news today, and this consistent approach to privacy, balance, And authenticity makes Ray's birth more than just a headline. It feels like an unfolding love story that the public has been invited to witness in glimpses. And while many celebrities are criticized for oversharing or making their children part of their brand, Karlie and Joshua have carved a rare middle ground, allowing fans to celebrate with them without ever crossing into exploitation. And that's something worth applauding in today's world, don't you think? In fact, I want to know from you, what do you think of Karlie's approach to motherhood and privacy? And do you think more celebrities should follow her example of sharing special moments in a minimal yet heartfelt way? Let me know in the comments because I'm curious to hear your perspective. And while you're at it, drop a congratulations Karlie and Joshua in the chat so we can flood this space with positivity, because I know some of you are parents yourselves and understand how precious these moments are. And let's be honest, in a world where we often hear negative stories about celebrities, it feels good to celebrate joy, life, and love. And speaking of joy, fans are also celebrating the fact that Karlie now has what people like to call the perfect trio: 2 boys and now a girl, a balance that many families dream of. And the speculation has already started about whether Ray will grow up to look like her statuesque mom or her thoughtful, reserved dad, and whether she'll take after Karlie's creative, public persona or Joshua's quieter, behind-the-scenes business mind. And that's what makes following stories like this so interesting. They're not just updates. They're unfolding journeys that evolve as the years go by. And if you've been watching my channel, you know I love to keep track of these family milestones because it lets us look back years later and see how these children grow, how parents balance fame with family, and how their choices inspire millions. And I think Karlie has already set a strong example by showing that you can be a global fashion icon, a business leader, and still prioritize family in the most authentic way. And that's why today, we're not just talking about a baby being born, we're talking about what that symbolizes: love, balance, and the beauty of new beginnings. And as I wrap this up, let me ask you, if you had to guess, do you think Karlie will stop at 3 kids, or could we see baby number 4 in the future? Comment your predictions below, because it's always fun to see how fans speculate and then look back later to see who was right. And don't forget to hit like if you're excited for Ray Florence's arrival, because every like helps push this celebration further so more fans can join in spreading positivity. And of course, if you want to stay updated on all things celebrity family news, royal updates, and Hollywood milestones, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss what comes next, because just like Karlie's story, there's always another exciting chapter around the corner.